Hey Taurus, welcome. This is the October 2024 forecast for your sun, moon, and rising. And I am so excited to tell you that you have a lot going on that could improve your romantic life or your primary love relationship, but a huge amount of change going on in situations to do with work, health, and maybe even debt situations, ability to pay down a debt or pay off debts. Let's get going and talk all about this month ahead. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. Welcome. I'm using the whole sign house system, fixed stars, minor asteroids, and I love to share this kind of astrology with you every month in my channel. I have weekly, monthly forecasts, and much, much more. Give me a try. Hit the like button and subscribe. I'm sorry, I got the wiggles from sitting and recording thousands of videos. If you want to know about my Sky Reader, not my Sky Reader, my 2025 pre-sale, it's out now. You can get it till October 31st. That is to buy a video all about your sign, right? All about your Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. Sun is career and purpose, moon is home and body, rising is everything about you. And those videos are going to be out for pre-sale through to October 31st, meaning you're ordering it while I'm producing it. And then I deliver the content privately to you by email. The videos are yours to keep. And I have a PDF guidebook for each sign. And that comes to you in mid-November. And this material never goes live ever on YouTube. This material is my yearly fundraiser for microphones and staff and help to grow my astrology business and be able to serve you here in my career. So check it out. Maybe you want to get the pre-sale price before October 31st. It will not come back again. All right, now let's get going. First of all, you are a Venus ruled being, and there is an eclipse in Libra, which is a Venus ruled house, and that is your sixth house of work, health, debt, tendencies, pets. Now, it is an eclipse October the 2nd, and we'll dive way more into that eclipse in my All Signs deep dive video when it comes out maybe a week after this was released, but you need to know about it because the South Node is like snip, snip. It's what you don't get to hold on to. It's what the universe like flushes down the drain. I don't want to say a pet's flushed down the drain. That's ridiculous. But South Node Venus eclipse, solar eclipse happened last year in October on the 14th in this part of your sky, and it's back for the second time. You won't get these eclipses again for another 18 years here. And so this is a time where you might need to let go of a pet. You might need to let go of a debt. Now, letting go of a debt can be a good thing, right? You have to pay it off. You have to get rid of it. But on the other hand, sometimes it can be that a debt owed to you is returned, some kind of debt turnaround. Venus brings you what you need, not always what you want. We'll be talking about that in a minute when we talk about her transit through the heavens. But it is an important time in a sense that forces of greater karma and destiny are unraveling a house of karmic debt. And sometimes our karmic debt is physical debt. We're indebted to another person. We owe them 6 cows and a lamb, or we owe the bank money. And that debt repayment plan is in place now with this eclipse, with this South Node eclipse. And with Juno, the goddess of contracts and agreements, it can also mean the end of an agreement around debt, the end of the mortgage holding agreement, the end of the credit card agreement, some kind of debt agreement coming to a close and ending. So we'll talk more about that in the deep dive, but know that eclipse is a central story of your month of October. And again, the eclipse is October 2nd, and it unfolds up to a month before and up to 6-7 months after. You're feeling the energies of destiny show you what's up. We're going to break the month down next in the following way. What we're going to do is we're going to move through the sky with all of the planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto. What are they doing? And then I'm going to break down the month in a chronological bit by bit way. Are you ready? Let's get started. Now, when we look at your chart, we always want to talk about Venus. She's your guiding planet. She's your number one girl, and she's busy in the sign of her detriment, but still doing her best job for you on September 22nd through to October the 16th. And with Venus going through the sign of Scorpio, she's trying to smooth out your professional business partnerships, your legal and contractual obligations, and your significant long-term love story. Now, you could meet somebody every time Venus moves through the 7th house. This is a possibility. And this is a new relationship could form September 22nd to October 16th, most likely through travel related or educational related events, or maybe even in large social groups of events with friends. But if it's not that, it's really good for holding fort during that transit until October 16th to help you navigate any matters to do with professional business associations, like partnerships or legal matters and contracts that need to have some benefic help. Venus then moves October the 17th to November the 10th through Sagittarius, other people's money, your eighth house, chunky money, tax rebates, insurances, mortgages, banks, bank loans, shared assets in a marital separation, inheritances. As she moves through this part of the sky every year, all of those themes get really lit up for you. And you may be looking at opportunities around that kind of money and also resolutions around that kind of money. And because of the eclipse in the house of debts and debt payments and structures to do with karmic and real life money debt, some of this could involve Venus sealing the deal on completing a debt repayment, getting rid of a mortgage, paying off a credit card. And again, that October 17th and November 10th transit can also look for some of you, if inheritance is something that you're expecting, it could look like getting the inheritance monies available to you as well. And it's also not a bad time for secret love affairs, although who wants to have one? But Venus in the eighth often draws secret love affairs to you, secret crushes, secret love affairs between October 17th and November 10th in your whole sign, eighth house, ruled by that Sagittarius sky. Mercury is the messenger of the gods, and he's busy from September 26th to the 12th of October, traveling through Libra. That is where that eclipse is. It's embedded within the conjunction to Mercury. And I'll be talking about that when I break down the daily events of October. But having Mercury in Libra is about negotiations, conversations, and ideas connected to balancing debt, to your health, to work situations, if that applies to if you're working at all, negotiations, his deal-making ability, like Trump, let's make a deal or whatever, the art of the deal, that's going on in your sixth house. So you can make a deal around rental property, renting property, because the eclipse is happening in your sixth house of debt and it's the ruler of the fourth house. Major changes around debts and communications and negotiations around mortgages and debts related to property acquisitions, buying and selling. Themes that Mercury is very capable of bringing on between September 26th and the 12th. He's connected to that eclipse, which makes this a very important version of his transit through this house of karmic service that allows you to pay off the karmic debts that you owe in this lifetime. If you want to get a new job and you want to apply for a new job, possibly this is a good time to do it as well. Mercury can really help you out here. So September 26th to October the 12th. On the 13th of October, all the way to November the 1st, Mercury blasts through your sixth house. And that is, blasts through your seventh house of contracts, agreements, and marriage, and other people. Now, the other people in Scorpio, seventh house, especially October 13th to the 16th, well, Venus is still there. You could be having some really positive negotiations or persuasive deal-making energies going on the 13th of October to the 16th when both planets are there. But Mercury is there all the way until November 1st, making mid-October to the end of October a really good time for you to negotiate something, to deal make, or to be very busy communicating quite successfully, I hope, with a spouse or a business partner. And when Mercury travels through this part of your chart, he engages in some beautiful conversations that we'll break down when we get to the all signs portion. They can bring a significant amount of ease into your life regarding matters to do with travel, matters to do with friendships and friendship circles, and also long-range career goals and plans. But we'll get to that in a minute. It's a very relational energy. So you're going to be engaging with some significant conversation. And with Venus, Mercury, the 13th to the 16th, for single Tauruses, you could bring in a new love story. For existing long-term love, there's a lot of harmony and reconciliatory communication in a scorpionic manner, going beneath the surface, revealing what's really true emotionally, getting to a deeper, more vulnerable conversation in a significant love story. Again, that's most beautifully done October 13th to the 16th. Mars is moving through Cancer. He's been there since September the 4th. He leaves November 4th. He comes back again January 6th to April 18th. That's very rare. That's a retrogradation causal. Okay, so with Mars moving through your third house, be careful, by the way. He's in a sign of his fall. Car accidents, please be careful, especially Taurus rising. Injuries, car accidents, but a lot of commuting, a lot of driving for some reason, maybe. When he's down here, he's good for travel, but he wants you to travel short distances, right? Like in commuting or traveling to another city near you or within your country at least. So maybe you have an exceptional amount of travel that begins to emerge in your life during this transit. Again, it's September 4th to November 4th, so all of October, and back again January, February, March into April. And that could be almost pilgrimage travel. He's fallen in the third and he wants to rise to the ninth house of pilgrimages. So you may travel for soul searching and soul seeking reasons, but travel is for sure a possibility. Also a lot of passion, dedication, and hard work regarding your online projects, your local business projects, like if you own your own company in a local environment, your own entrepreneurial local business stuff, you're busy, you're hardworking, you're decisive, you're action taking, energetically, you're on it, Now, if you have a younger sibling, one younger than you, or the extended neighbors, aunts, and uncles, conflict can happen. Mars can bring up arguments with those people, disagreements, and some conflict. Not the worst conflict I've ever seen. He does sextile Taurus, but conflict with the younger siblings, extended family, and neighbors. And, neighbors and conflict can happen in any which way, right? Who knows? Whatever is going on in the neighborhood, you just might get caught up in almost like a scrimmage in the neighborhood of some kind. So be careful for that kind of upset as well. And moving on, when we see Jupiter retrograde October 9th in Gemini, you need to think about what he's doing to begin with. Jupiter is a greater benefic, like Santa Claus, and he has been moving through your second house of money, resources, earnings, and food style. Of course, he's probably got you looking a little gluttonous here since last March and May of 24 to next June, because some people overeat when Jupiter enters the second house of what goes in the mouth. But he also is trying to be like a Hail Mary pass to help save the day regarding food, shelter, water, and basic needs, although he is in a sign that's difficult for him. And so he's trying his best. It's kind of good, but not great. What he wants to do is have you earn more money. But what he's also wishing he could do is hang out in the house of bank loans, mortgages, investment monies, that. But he's not there. That's what he looks at yearningly. But he's stuck in like, let's make money, let's hustle. We spend money when Jupiter is here, but sometimes we also can, the god of blessed endings, end a way of making money. Something could come to a completion in this part of your sky. And because it's ruled by Mercury, who will be going through your sixth house of debts, something to do with money and debts will be very highlighted. And you may not necessarily, with that South Node eclipse, think that money and debts is important until this begins to show up. And then you start thinking about why it's happening. And the reason is it's time at a soul level to move on from some kind of financial situation or work situation or dietary habit or style, especially addictions, because of Chiron in your 12th house. So you're feeling this Jupiter retrograde on October the 9th as a real deepening of the story I'm talking about. Now, retrogradation means also going back to places we've been before, because Jupiter transports himself over the same degrees he's already traveled, and you're going backwards to something that you've already been through, and you're revising, reassessing, and you're trying to take the nuggets of wisdom. And the time we're talking about is what have you been doing since about, I think it was May the 18th to October 9th. What actions to do with money, resources, rentals, debts, pets, things to do with career matters, things to do with land and property. Those themes, those broader themes have been a part of what maybe have been going on. And like say you applied for a job and didn't get it, now he's going backward, you might get that job, for example. Say you tried to sell a property and you couldn't, but now you're going to be able to do that. These sorts of like go back and do it again, and deepen into what the Jupiter says. Like Jupiter says something good is always trying to happen, right? That's what Jupiter says. But the South Node in your sixth house is saying, and you need to let go. So you guys probably know what I'm talking about, right? Whether it's a health challenge problem from dietary style, whether it's something to do with money, debt, work, property can be involved, rentals, even credit card debt. We'll get to that. So next, Pluto goes direct. October the 11th. The last story he's got to tell you in this lifetime about his 2008 transit through Capricorn. 16 years in your ninth house of God. It was meant to get you into alignment with your purpose, to figure out the meaning of life, to go through a death and rebirth and regeneration regarding religion, foreign shores and lands, academic environments, making those places of like intensity. My daughter is a Taurus sun, went to university during this time. And I mean, everyone goes to university, to go to school. She ended up having existential crises in university. So look, it's not easy where Pluto goes. He's finishing his last lesson for you, the final hurrah, the last hurrah. And it's coming through October the 11th to the 19th of November, because that's his direct turnaround. He went back into your ninth house in September. Now, courts and judges and legal matters are up here. And Mars, the god of lawsuits, is looking at it across the way from the bottom of the sky. So anything to do with legal matters that require contesting the order of the judge or checking down on the facts of the court case. I mean, this is legal embattlement for some Tauruses. So you may feel that when he goes direct October 11th, the battles are behind you and you're moving on. And money and legal matters are entwined here in some way, especially around October 17th. And we'll get to that in the breakdown of the month by month. And let's do the month by month breakdown. I'm going to show you the sky so you can see it. I know I'm wiggling. I know I'm wiggling. I'm wiggling because I've been sitting on this chair doing 12 videos. All right. So you go ahead. It's probably time for me to buy an ergonomic chair. So I'm going to show you the sky, and I'm going to go through a bit, everything that's going to happen in chronological order by date. This is where it would probably be a good idea, if you're at all interested, to grab a pen or a paper, or then to save this video to replay later, or whatever you want to do to actually use this material, because who's going to remember, right, what I say now, unless you go back to it. But it is hopefully a good navigational tool. So use it to devise navigational success. That's the wrong one. I apologize. Let's try again. I know I just had it up. So let's try if I can find Taurus one more time. Give me a sec. Good enough. All right. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. Here we go. Reminding you, sun, career purpose, moon, body, home needs, safety, family, and the rising sign is really everything about you in life, as a character of the Taurus being. So here we have the sky. And the first thing I'm going to point out is we're talking about the eclipse that happens here. Ultimately, it's a Mercury cazimi on September 30th, Mercury in the heart of the sun, or Mercury conjunct the sun on September 30th, October 1st, but then it becomes embedded in the eclipse of October 2nd. So you may as well say October 1st to the 3rd, we have a Mercury in the heart of the sun combined with an eclipse, with the South Node saying, let go, and the sun being eclipsed, and the sun is the ruler of your fourth house of land, home, and property. What land, home, property, or domestic problem do you need to let go of? What health problem is ready to be surrendered to the divine? What financial situation connected to rentals and properties and debts is ready to be let go of and released? And that's the story. And you'll know this eclipse has been in play for a month before October 2nd, okay? And it's going to be in play for up to 6 months after. So we're already in the thick of it well before we get to October the 2nd. Juno can mean let go and surrender contracts and agreements, and it's time to let them go. It's no longer needed. What is it, a vow that you've got to let go of? What is the contractual arrangements that are no longer needed? At the same time, this eclipse occurs around the 2nd of October. We see that Mars will flow to Saturn. Now, Mars is not in good shape. He's in a sign of his fall, a fall regarding things to do with the neighbors, the neighborhood, the local environment, falling energy around travel and falling energy around, extended family and cousins and nieces, and even your younger sibling, one younger than you. But the trine is positive, see? And so what's trying to happen is something good and lucky and easy wants to happen while the eclipse is also activated. This can indicate travel with friends opening up for you around the first week of October. This can indicate something to do with your long-range career plans and some major changes of direction and new actions and decisions you'll make regarding what you considered your long-range career goals to be. This can also, as a flowing energy, make you very determined and perseverant and forbearant to get stuff done in a long way, like a forbearance, like a marathon energy of working on something that you need to get done in the 3rd house. Social media, websites, writing projects, and things to do with travel plans and traveling, things to do with moving. Yes, because, when we pack our house up and we get the moving van and we get everything ready to go, that's the 3rd house of caravans and moving. Landing is the 4th house. What we do before we're home is we pack. So there's maybe a lot of packing going on, a lot of getting ready for some of you to move. And with an eclipse in the house of rentals, a new rental property move may be coming, or a sale of a home, but there's moving energy for some of you. Now, what also happens is Venus on October the 4th joins in, and that creates this beautiful triangle called a grand water trine. And it's lucky and fortunate, flowing and easy. It's not the best water trine because Venus is in detriment and so is Mars, but nonetheless, it's still a trine and it's still flowing and it's still lucky. Some ease and flow and grace around travel, moving, packing, writing projects, social media land, commuting, and Venus connected to long-term love commitments and legal contracts and deals and vows, and Saturn in the 11th house of good spirit, where you're engaged in professional endeavors, particularly around gains from your career, and more specifically as well, sometimes it's just people you know in your friendship circles. And Saturn can be someone older than you who acts like an elder sibling who wants to help you out. And in fact, this whole water trine can involve both an elder and a younger sibling in a positive and flowing way, or people who are like a sibling to you. And so you see this flow, this engaged energy, and it's active all the way through to October the 9th or 10th. So between October the 4th and the 10th, there's a beautiful water trine flying through the sky here, flowing through your sky. And ultimately, it does look like you can handle the water trine because it creates for all of you Tauruses a kite, right? There's the kite. So energetically for your sun or moon or rising, you're trying to lift higher into the sky of your own identity. You're having shocking changes to who you think you are. Uranus algol, Mars conjunct with Uranus algol in the 1st house of your identity, in the sun for your career, and with the moon for your body and home matters. Big catalytic turbocharged electricity of unexpected changes here. And yet at the same time, the water flow kite says you can move with this energy into more harmony in the houses that are called kama, relational houses, relating to the significant others in your life, relating to your extended family, relating to your friendship circles, is trying to come into balance and harmony through catalytic change in the sky for you. Now, as we move into the story of October the 4th, particularly, Mercury will square Mars. All right, Mercury is squaring Mars. I want you to really listen for this because I'm going to repeat it in a minute with another planet. Mercury squaring Mars is kind of like information, news, legal contracts, agreements, and conflict. This looks like some kind of battle or conflict regarding Libran stories, who owes who what, like a vow or agreements and breaking of agreements, but also heated conversations, emails, phone calls back and forth. It's also very intense around October the 4th. You could fracture an agreement in a work situation, a debt situation, a mortgage situation, a home situation with somebody you're dating. And you could say, I'm out of here, I'm quitting. And there's energy of tension here, October the 4th. October the 7th to the 9th, while Venus is trining Mars, we also see Mercury then make a happy story with Jupiter. No matter what this tension is about, there's a little slice of happy sky around your finances and your resources. And that happy slice of sky is really beautifully placed for October 7th to the 9th, just a few days after that eclipse. So some good news or some happy outcomes regarding legal matters, contracts, debts, all the 6-house stuff, pets, potentially even things to do with your health, and some good news around your health as well. October 13th to the 14th, the sun will come into a trine to Jupiter and also square Mars. Well, when the sun is trining Jupiter, just like Mercury, I outlined that for you. Money, breakthroughs, and work situations, raises, promotions, maybe things to do with up levels with rental properties and finances looking sufficiently abundant to allow you to increase your prosperity as a landlord or a tenant. Maybe some breakthroughs here to do with debt alleviation as well. And again, that's October 13th, 14th, but yet Mars square Sun is, the conflict is still there. So, I mean, the Sun talks to Jupiter in a kind way, and Mars is still the grit. You need to pack, you need to make some changes, you need to commute, you need to write something important, and you got to get it done. And there's intensity and there's pressure here, but Jupiter's trying to help. Mercury squares Pluto October the 13th to the 14th. That's when all of this Sun Jupiter is happening. So Mercury, the messenger, talks to Pluto in the house of courts, judges, for our foreign shores and lands. Things to do with academic settings. And there's tension. Mercury has the information and the peace, harmony, treaty agreements he likes to get done here in the indentured debt house of the 6th house. But he's in a very intense conversation with Pluto. Pluto's excavation god, right? Trying to see what's under the surface. And now he's going direct. What's under the surface of legal paperwork? What's under the surface of judges and lawyers? What's under the surface of professors in academic settings? And maybe there's a bit of a tussle here around news information that is coming into the light of day from underneath the surface, causing a sense of conflict or intensity. Okay, Mercury square Pluto in the world will be, let me tell you who really, assassinated JFK. So who really has what money owed to whom and why, right? Jupiter owns the house of banks and mortgage holders and lenders here, and he's going to be trying to help out whatever's going on here. That's just one option, Some wealthy person from a foreign shore who has a great deal of power is suddenly in the information sphere for you, is another way of putting it in a very critical way around October 13th, 14th. October the 15th, 14th, 15th, Venus creates a wedge in the sky. Let me show you the wedge. I think you're going to appreciate the wedge. Clear all drawings. Let's take a look at Venus's happy times. So Venus will make a flowing relationship to Neptune. So here, Venus will be further along here, and she'll flow to Neptune over here, and that's called a trine. But at the same time, she's opposite the wealth star on Uranus, Algol, the one that jolted you on the 15th of the month of July, thereabouts, with Mars. This wedge is about breakthrough between tensions between you and some significant other, maybe a female Venus, just maybe your significant long-term love or business partners, or people with whom you have indebted legal agreements. And there's this shocking, surprising, unexpected intensity around money and love stories. But yet the trine to Neptune in the 11th house means that Venus is also working with Neptune for dreamy and harmonious outcomes. It can work well if you're trying to get into a new relationship, only in the sense that Neptune could be somebody that a friend invites you to, like a movie theater with someone, and you meet the Venus person, right? It's very literal, because you could meet someone new under this, and this person may rock your world with that Uranus connection and really shift your perspective on what kind of relationship you wish to actually be in. It could be good for some career gains through significant others in your life or business partnerships leading to a dream come true stabilization and realistic outcome, a realistic look at how you want your career gains to go. And also some breakthrough energy around some of the social groups and friendship circles that you belong to as well. Now we're continuing forward and we're going to move away from the wedge into Venus's sextile to Pluto. Now, Venus moving forward will eventually hit the 29th degree of Scorpio in your seventh house of legal contracts and partnerships and love, committed love. And this is very good because the sextile is going to bring some harmony here. So if there's legal matters that are upsetting you or things to do with academic and far off foreign shores or universities and colleges, there's a smoothing it out, polishing it up. Venus is working on your behalf and ultimately looks like she's trying to really help you find some solutions to ninth house matters. Venus can bring a bit of wealth here through your significant other, or if you some other person giving you some wealth in some way. And again, it will tie back to foreigners, foreign lands, or ninth house matter spiritual community. If you're somebody who wants to join a new spiritual community, the last chance is here. You may be dragged into that spiritual community by some person who says, come join us at AA, come join us at, our Sufi whirling dervish session. You can be pulled into a very transformative spiritual community, spiritual belief structure, spiritual something or other, possibly around October 17th, 16th, 17th. And then on October 22nd, Mercury trines Saturn. Mercury is here and Saturn, of course, we know Mercury has moved here into Scorpio. Saturn is here. So this is good information and good news coming through other people that help stabilize some of your long-term goals and dreams or the financial gains from your career. And it feels stabilizing and it feels good, but it's coming through news through other people at that time. October the 23rd to the 30th is a glorious time in the sky. It is going to be a gorgeous, beautiful trine in the heavens. Let me show it to you. This is going to be where we see a gorgeous energy of Mars flowing to Uranus and flowing to Neptune. And this creates a mini grand trine. Did I say grand trine? Mini grand trine. Running through October 23rd to the 30th. It's going to look something like this. First, there's a surprise, and then there's some harmony. Uranus says, a surprising change in your packing plans, a surprising change in your local neighborhood, a surprising change with a younger sibling, a surprising change with writing in online social media, a surprising change with travel plans. That's happening around the 23rd, 25th. Then it also flows to Neptune because a surprising change involves an elder sibling, could also involve a younger sibling, by the way, but an elder sibling, somebody to do with a friend, a benefactor, an ally, somebody to do with a colleague or coworker, or finally, just a broad theme of some kind of flow towards stabilizing a career goal or career vision or purpose vision in your life through unexpected travel opportunities or unexpected learning opportunities. And with Mars down, it could be unexpected changes of neighborhood as well, especially with the stellium in your sixth house, energetically meaning a change of neighborhood, likely through a move or a rental property opportunity. Now, at the same time this happens, Mercury sits across the way, moved now to the last degree of Scorpio, and this is a 26th to the 30th, that this is very much an arrow in the sky. Some offer, communication, phone call, email, conversation with a significant other person that can look very much like consolidating that travel plan, consolidating the neighborhood move, signing a contract about a move, finding yourself feeling blessed as some larger goals and dreams come true, but it connects to changes in the third house. Okay. Again, change of neighborhood, change of relationship to siblings, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, or more. So it's so many things it could be. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video. Check out the All Signs 2025 pre-sale price. You're not going to get that kind of price for your 2-hour video and guidebook. Again, it's in the description box below. Thank you, Taurus. Take care.